Warning: this video contains graphic content, including details of real-life violence, disturbing subject matter, and sensitive themes that may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. You're listening to Descent to Depravity, where we investigate the darkest corners of the human psyche, one chilling story at a time.
This is every parent's worst nightmare.
All I keep thinking about is, where is she? Is she safe?
We don't know where she could be.
The body of missing 13-year-old Madeline Soto has been found.
Imagine this. It's a Monday morning. You send your child off to school like you've done hundreds of times before. You go about your day, trusting that they're safe, and then they don't come home. At first you tell yourself there's an explanation. Maybe they missed the bus. Maybe they're with a friend, but as the minutes turn to hours, that dread in your stomach starts to grow. Something isn't right. Most parents would feel it instantly. That primal alarm, a hollow drop in the stomach when their child doesn't come home. They'd tear through neighborhoods, pound on doors, chase shadows into the night. But the word parent is far too sacred to hang around Jennifer's neck, not after what would be revealed, not after what she let happen. And StephanSterns. There's no human word for what he is. Whatever title he carried, it rotted long before Madeline disappeared. February 26, 2024. The illusion of motherhood around Jennifer Soto collapsed, and the shadow of StephanSterns' depravity began to take shape. It was the day Madeline vanished on what should have been an ordinary school day. But as detectives began digging into what happened, the case of a missing child quickly unraveled into a nightmare that no one, not her family, not her community, not even the detectives assigned to it, could have imagined. This wasn't a random abduction. Madeline wasn't snatched off the street and thrown into a white van. The darkness behind her disappearance ran far deeper and closer than anyone could have feared. A reminder that sometimes the greatest danger comes from those closest to us. A brutal truth Madeline lived with for years, right up until the day her life was stolen by a sick and twisted predator. On February 26, 2024, a call came through to the Orange County Sheriff's Office. On the line was a woman, believed to be Madeline's aunt, reporting that 13-year-old Madeline Soto was missing.
911, what's the location of your emergency? And is there a specific apartment number, ma'am? And do you need police, fire, or medical?
Police, possibly. I'm reporting a missing child.
Okay. And what is the name of the business there, ma'am?
The business?
Okay. And the child that you're trying to report missing, are you calling on behalf of the parent?
Yes, on behalf of the mother. She's missing.
Okay. And then and ma'am, how old is the child? And could I go ahead and get her name?
Yes,
And is she white, black, or Hispanic?
She's white.
Okay.
Blonde
and
hair, dirty blonde hair, blue eyes.
Okay, hold on with me here. And then, what color shirt and pants was she last seen wearing?
Then, what color shirt and what was she last wearing? Hold on.
Okay, and then how long has it been though since you guys have last seen her?
Since this morning. She was dropped off at school this morning, and apparently she never showed up. We called everyone we knew. No one's seen her.
Okay. And then, ma'am, I just want to confirm, though, was she last seen from this address? Is this where you guys last saw her?
No. She was last seen at the church next to Hunter's Creek Middle School. I think it's called Peace Church. I'm not sure of the exact address. She was wearing a dark green hoodie, I believe.
What is the name of the church?
I think I'm pretty sure it's called Peace Church. It's the one right next to Hunter's Creek Middle School. No.
Got it. It's across the street from it?
I believe so, yeah. There's two. I just forgot about the other one. It's not Focal Point Church. It's,
Well, is it Peace United Methodist Church?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, is she diagnosed with any medical, mental conditions at all?
I know she takes medication for ADHD, and I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay. Sorry, bear with me here. And is she known to carry anything on her person, like a pocket knife, pepper spray, anything at all like that?
No,
Okay.
no, nothing like that.
Does she have a cell phone that she might keep on her person?
She doesn't. She had one, but she left it at home conveniently today.
Okay.
Right there. It's over there. Okay.
And ma'am, what is your name?
My name is...
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And just so we recognize you when we arrive there, though, at the advance, come meet with you guys. Are you, ma'am, white, black, Indian, Asian, or Hispanic?
I'm Hispanic.
And what color shirt and pants will you be wearing?
Pants, dark wash jeans. I have a green cardigan on and a white shirt.
Thank you. And I just need to verbally confirm is all. Do you have any at all weapons on your person?
No, I didn't.
Okay. All right. And are you going to be waiting for us inside?
Yeah. I'll come outside. I do a see-through glass, so I'll see when you guys show up.
Okay, perfect then. So then I'll get a call placed for service. We'll have deputies out there to come and make a report with you and to come and assist with trying to find your, okay?
Okay. Her mother and they're going to the school to double check and everything, but from what we know, she wasn't there. So they should be back soon, too, because it's right next to the school.
Yeah, that's fine. So if at least one of you remains there, though, to meet with an officer, that's more than fine, okay?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay, then. All right. Thank you so much, ma'am, and I'll go ahead and let you go. We'll be out there as quickly as we can, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
The family waited, tense and silent, for deputies to arrive and take the report. But minutes dragged into a half an hour, and no one came. Growing restless, Jennifer's sister picked up the phone again at 5:16 p.m., calling back to ask the question no one wanted to say out loud. Where are they?
911, what is the location of your emergency?
Okay, police or medical?
Hi, I called not that long ago reporting a missing child. I just wanted to know how long the cops are going to take to get here.
Okay, hold on, let me open up the call and let's see. The call is still currently pending to have the deputies respond out there, but we don't have any available deputies. We still have the call up, though, holding.
Okay, so no one's on their way yet?
Not yet, no.
Does it take long for them to respond to the call?
If there's a big emergency in the area and there's no units available, they put the calls on hold. But as soon as one becomes available, they respond to the next pressing call.
Okay, yeah, we just need one here urgently. So
I understand. We still have the call. We still have the call holding.
Yes.
Yep, we still have the call holding for them. I'll go ahead and update them with the information.
All right, thank you, because this happened very recently, so we just want to get everyone here since 8 a.m. She's been missing since 8 a.m.
But still, no deputies came. Hours had passed, and the fear inside that house was turning into anger. At 7:21 p.m., a third call was made, this time by Madeline's grandmother. Her voice carried a sharper edge, laced with frustration and disbelief, as she demanded to know why no one had yet come to help find her missing granddaughter.
911, what is the location of your emergency?
Okay, what's going on? You need police, fire, medical.
No, it's not a medical issue. We have a missing child since this morning. We already called 3 times, and the police didn't show up yet.
Are you looking for?
Yes.
Do you know this? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I see it right here for you. Yes, ma'am. I see it. There's a waiting for a deputy to respond.
They haven't come here yet.
I'm aware, ma'am. I see it. It's waiting for a deputy to respond.
You're waiting for a deputy to respond?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long more do we need to wait? It's a child missing.
I understand that, ma'am, but I'm just not able to give out ETA. I don't know when they'll be there.
So how long do we need to wait? This is an emergency.
Ma'am, we have the information, but they're trying to get there to someone as soon as possible.
So this is not important for you guys? Really?
Ma'am, we are very busy in the area. Look, I understand they'll be there as soon as they can, okay?
By 7:48 p.m., Deputy Frankie Joseph arrived to the family's location to take a report. Jennifer Soto and her boyfriend StephanSterns didn't waste any time, giving both a written and verbal statement.
Hey there.
Hey there. What's going on?
So, my daughter was dropped off close to school this morning, but never made it. I went to pick her up from school.
I'm sorry, one second.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Are we looking for another kid or we have a kid?
Looking for another one.
Alright, so people are still on the scene. Let's put that out in the hospital location. How long?
13.
I'm trying to get there right now.
Absolutely.
Okay. So she was supposed to be dropped off at school, didn't make it to school.
Didn't make it to school. I went to pick her up from school today,
Okay.
and she never came out. They announced it over the speaker, and I'm just like, maybe she walked here because sometimes she'll walk here to this office. I came here, nothing. I went back to the school, they were closed. I got an email from the school saying she was absent, but I also messaged her teacher, and he looked at her entire attendance today and saw that she was completely not at school today either.
Okay.
So she never made it.
Okay. What's her name?
Madeline. Madeline.
Madeline. Last name?
Soto. Soto.
Soto?
Yeah.
Date of birth?
February 22nd, 2011.
February 27, 2000?
22nd.
Oh, sorry. 22nd.
2011.
2011.
Just had her 13th birthday.
13.
Charlie 45. What's the name of the single aid?
Madeline Soto, age 13. I'm trying to get a clothing description now. What was she last seen wearing?
26 County Charlie 45. People hit my call 931. It's the same call.
Green hoodie.
Green hoodie.
White Crocs.
White Crocs.
Either blue or black pants.
I think black shorts.
Black shorts?
Yeah.
Black shorts? Okay. Black shorts. Alright. Do you know if she has like friends in the area?
She does, but she doesn't know where they live.
She doesn't know where they live. Okay.
I asked all of them.
Okay. Is this like, does she like have any places that you guys know that she'll usually be at? Any friend's house? Any places that like she likes to hang out?
Not typically,
no.
Not typically?
No.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. Let me see if I get some.
Thank you.
No problem. And what school she goes to?
Hunters Creek Middle School.
Hunters Creek Middle? Alright, cool. Do you have a picture of her? Can you airdrop it to me?
Is this a good enough picture, or do you need a whole
Yeah,
body
that's
picture?
perfect. So they called since I don't even know when, but whenever they what did you say that what did she call? My question is not why is this not a code 3 when it first came out? That last time she was seen it was early this morning, like 7 o'clock. That's what I'm about to see. I'm about to go check. I just try to get as much information now of her clothing description than the Diaz, who Diaz has a hit in like a big area full of kids. So if you want to help me out with this one. By any chance, does she have a phone number or a phone?
She does, but she left it at home today. I have it.
You have it.
And I've already gone through her messages.
Okay. How about, does she have like an Apple Watch?
She's got a device. The only device she's got on her right now is her school laptop.
Her school laptop. Is that trackable?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Does she not have a history of running away or anything?
Never.
She's just hanging out and lost time kind of thing?
Possibly, I don't know. She got dropped off. She was like, so she's embarrassed by his car. So she didn't want to be dropped off at school. She wanted to be dropped off like half a block away so she can walk.
Her name is Sting. She's in the face.
But he dropped her off half a block away and drove away.
Okay. Did she ever go to school though?
No, we called school.
She was walking in that direction. She was rifling through her backpack, just looking for something. I thought maybe she was just looking for headphones before she got her walking on.
Yeah.
But she was just kind of, shambling over in that direction. It looked the same as any other morning. Okay.
What was the last thing you asked?
If she had went to school, I think that's what it was.
So I got confirmation from the school that she never made it. They sent me an email saying she didn't make it. But I also spoke to her, or emailed one of her teachers directly, and he looked at all her attendance for all her periods and told me she didn't make it at all today.
Okay.
Say it again? No, she's supposed to have a book bag. She was supposed to go to school, but didn't go to school today.
21 to a vehicle. Pursuing local, reference day 21 to a vehicle.
I think
Going
black
to be
shorts.
An unknown male, gray hoodie,
Possibly
black pants, black ski mask,
white Crocs with socks.
No further information. 1064, 1946.
And when was the last time you seen her? Do you know around what time?
Around 8:30, 8:40 when we dropped her off. How tall is she?
5'1".
Weight?
110 pounds.
About 110, 112. Hair color?
Blonde.
Blonde, like a dirty blonde.
Like a dirty blonde?
Yeah.
Okay. Eye color?
Blue.
Does she have any markings on her, like any scars or anything like
There's
that?
a distinctive beauty mark on her face.
On her
here.
face?
On the face, like below the nose or near the nose?
Yeah, like right in that area there. It's very distinctive. You'd know it if you saw it.
I'm getting a random 407 number. Okay. Hello? Yes? Hi, Principal. I'm okay. How are you? No, currently the police officer's here right now.
Start getting the
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find her
paperwork.
anything.
Does she have any social media or anything like that?
She has Instagram.
Instagram.
Right here.
Private.
It is private.
Just family,
Thank
cousins.
you so much. I
friends.
definitely appreciate it.
Right here.
That's her.
Deputy Joseph mobilized more resources. A K-9 unit was brought in. Using an article of the girl's clothing, the dog began tracking from the spot where Stearns claimed to have left her. The trail went cold almost immediately.
What are you telling me? You here? No. Okay. Yeah, we can call it.
Ebola was sent out. Madeline Soto, white female, 5'1", 110 pounds. Blue eyes, fair skin, blonde hair. Last seen wearing a green hoodie, black shorts, and white Crocs. She was entered into EmResource and later Teletype as a missing endangered juvenile. Deputy Joseph reached out to the on-call domestic crimes detective. The domestic crimes squad is responsible for handling missing persons investigations, so Detective Francis Hunt was notified. Hunt coordinated the initial response and instructed Deputy Joseph to forward the report to the Missing Persons Unit. February 27, 2024. It was just after 4 p.m. when Detective Tagler was called in. The case had already begun spiraling. A 13-year-old girl was missing, and hours were slipping by. Tagler responded without hesitation, heading straight to the heart of the search. A temporary command post set up at 5100 Town Center Boulevard in Orlando. The scene was tense. Officers, detectives, and techs working every angle they could. Tagler was paired with Detective Acosta and given a name that had already raised red flags, StephanSterns. Before they even spoke to him, detectives had data. The movements of the car he'd been driving were already being tracked and logged. A 2010 silver Lincoln MKZ with Florida tags. Its path was painting a pattern, and it was anything but ordinary. On February 26th, the day Madeline Soto vanished, that vehicle was caught on surveillance and license plate readers multiple times, all along South John Young Parkway, crossing the Osceola County line at 8:10 a.m., 10:05 a.m., and 11:48 a.m. That wasn't all. Later, it was spotted again, eastbound on US 192 and Pecan Street at 1:05 p.m. Then just over an hour later, westbound on US 192 and Academy Drive at 2:23 p.m. Every ping, every timestamp, every direction, it was all being lined up like a digital breadcrumb trail. And at the center of it all was Stearns, the man who was supposed to take Madeline to school that morning. February 27, 2024, 11:16 a.m. Detective Hunt arrived at Jennifer's home. The air inside was still, heavy with worry, as she began to recount the last moments she remembered seeing her daughter, Madeline. She said it had been late on February 25th, around 11 p.m. when she last saw her. Madeline had gone to sleep in the guest bedroom with Stephan. Jennifer had just started a new job and desperately needed rest. Normally, Madeline would curl up beside her mother at night. But when Stephan came to town, he took the guest room. And this time, Madeline followed him there. Stephan had moved out back in December, relocating to Northport, Florida, to work for his father. Since then, he'd only been back 2 or 3 times. This visit, he planned to stay for a week, helping with Madeline and the family dog while Jennifer was tied up in job training. Jennifer wasn't certain when he arrived. Saturday, maybe Sunday morning. She remembered hearing movement in the morning, but couldn't say for sure who it was. Stephan had woken her while putting a leash on the dog, but she drifted back to sleep. She never saw Madeline that morning. Normally, Jennifer handled the morning routine, leaving no later than 8:50 a.m. for school. But the night before, she'd asked Stephan to take her instead. They'd even discussed a McDonald's breakfast stop, an idea Madeline backed out of at the last moment. Jennifer said she learned this from Stephan during a call at 10:18 a.m., when he told her they didn't end up stopping, though he'd tried to convince her otherwise. That morning, Jennifer set her alarm for 9 a.m., left the house by 9:30 for a blood draw, and returned just after 11:15 a.m. Stephan was already there. She stayed home until 2:30 p.m., then drove to the school to pick up Madeline. She waited 10 minutes after the final bell. No Madeline. She thought maybe her daughter had gone to her grandmother, Yolanda Zambrano Nunez, but Yolanda hadn't seen her either. Panic rising, Jennifer began driving around, scanning the streets before returning to the school. The office was closed. On the way, she called Sage Ellis, Madeline's best friend, hoping she was with her. Sage's reply chilled her. Madeline had never made it to school. Jennifer pushed back. "What do you mean? We dropped her off close to school." But Sage insisted. Madeline wasn't there. Emails to her teachers confirmed it. No attendance recorded. That's when Madeline's aunt called 911. She told Detective Hunt that Stephan had only dropped Madeline off once or twice before. When asked why Stephan didn't pull into school grounds that morning, Jennifer explained that Madeline was embarrassed to be seen in his car. Madeline's phone and debit card were still at home. She had ADHD and sometimes left her phone behind. She'd once been diagnosed with autism, though recent assessments labeled it as autistic traits. Hunt asked for the phone. Jennifer handed it over. When asked what she thought had happened, Jennifer was firm. Madeline wouldn't run away. Stephan had said he dropped her between 8:30 and 8:45 a.m., earlier than normal. The last image he left her with, Madeline rummaging through her backpack, supposedly looking for her phone. February 27, 2024, 12:05 p.m. Detective Hunt turned his attention to StephanSterns, meeting him at Jennifer's residence. Under oath, Stearns began to speak. His account calm, almost rehearsed. Stephan, who called Northport home, came here often enough, drifting into Jennifer's world, into Madeline's life. But today, the lines between visits and responsibility were blurred. He recounted arriving the night of February 25th, around 8:45 p.m., when Jennifer was still at work. Madeline was told to get ready for bed. The next morning, Jennifer chose to sleep in, sending Stephan and Madeline to the guest room upstairs, a false calm settling over the place. February 26th began with whispered plans and hidden tensions. Stephan claimed they woke between 7 and 7:15 a.m., intending to grab McDonald's before school. They left between 7:30 and 7:45, with Madeline asleep in the passenger seat, her small frame draped in a hoodie. But as they neared the Golden Arches at Town Loop Boulevard, she refused. Cold and distant. Madeline didn't want food. She didn't want to be seen getting out of his car at school. An image thing, Stephan said. So, he dropped her off somewhere off the beaten path, a sidewalk near Lilac Cove Lane just south of the State Road 417 overpass, sometime between 8:20 and 8:40 a.m. She said she'd meet friends, but he watched her from the rearview mirror, fumbling through her backpack, unaware she had forgotten her phone, the one lifeline she never usually left behind. When Detective Acosta unfolded a map between them, Stephan nodded. This was a familiar drop-off spot. He spoke of Madeline's love for the cold morning air, hoodie pulled tight against it, but the edges of his tail darkened quickly. He admitted circling back, making a U-turn in the church parking lot, trying to bait her with McDonald's once more. She refused again, unmoved. "Time to kill," he said. Lingering near the school's shadow, the clock ticked on. Drop-off between 8:20 and 8:40 a.m. A whispered, "I love you," a reply in kind. Then she turned, swallowed by the morning chill. The picture Stephan painted was ordinary, almost tender. But after she left, the shadows crept in. Stephan drove to a vape shop at Hunter's Oak Drive. Closed. So he turned back, slipping through the cold streets, back to the apartment by 10 a.m. About an hour later, he went back to the vape shop, which was then open, and purchased the vape juice he needed. He spent the rest of the morning at home until about 12:45 p.m., when he left to run errands near US 192. He mentioned to detectives that Madeline's mother wanted to make a BJ's Wholesale Club list, and hoped he'd return in time to go with her to pick up Madeline. On US 192, Stephan visited a few stores, Coliseum of Comics, a couple of Targets, and planned to stop at House Rules Games on Oak Street, but never made it there. He got a flat tire and pulled into a plaza, though he wasn't sure which one, only that it was before Oak Street. Stephan said it had been about 10 years since he last changed a tire, and admitted making rookie mistakes, pinching his thumb between the jack and the frame. Because of the flat, he didn't make it back in time to pick up Jennifer, who left without him. Stephan called to apologize and later tidied his apartment while waiting. As time passed, Jennifer contacted Stephan saying Madeline hadn't come out of school. He began to worry, calling family to be on the lookout, fearing she might be walking to them. That's when everything started going downhill, he said. Detectives pressed him about Madeline's phone, which she had forgotten that morning. Stephan explained that she, her mother, and he were all severely ADHD, so forgetting her phone wasn't unusual. Madeline had missed her medication the previous week while staying at her grandparents' house and had been very spacey. He said Jennifer's work hours had changed recently, which was why he'd driven up to help. When reviewing the map again, Stephan struggled to explain his route. Admitting he was bad about streets in Hunter's Creek, he repeated his U-turn near the church parking lot, trying to convince her on McDonald's one last time before dropping her off. Detective Acosta pointed out surveillance cameras, and Stephan admitted he might have gone back to the apartment after leaving for school to retrieve his gate clicker. He explained he preferred entering through the back gate to avoid long lines at the front. A search of Stephan's phone showed minimal call history. Messaging apps appeared unused. He blamed a stupid iOS update the morning after Madeline vanished, which had factory reset his phone, wiping all contacts and information. He said this happened while he was hanging out with Madeline. Detective Hunt proceeded to speak with Yolanda Zambrano, Madeline's grandmother. The last time Yolanda saw the girl was the night of February 25th, at her Orlando home during Madeline's birthday party. The next day, Jennifer was calling, asking if Madeline had walked to Yolanda's office. She wasn't at school. Yolanda said Stephan, Jennifer's ex-boyfriend, had driven her. Stephan claimed he dropped Madeline at an apartment complex called Urbana. She claimed Madeline had no history of running away, only one argument a year earlier when she briefly roamed the neighborhood before returning home. Yolanda never liked Stephan. In her eyes, he was a man without work, without purpose, someone Jennifer kept around just to avoid being alone. After new surveillance from license plate readers and flock cameras surfaced, detectives saw the cracks in Stephan's timeline. Sharp, undeniable fractures that bled through his story. The inconsistencies were enough to drag him back under the harsh light for another round of questioning. Detective Tagler arrived at 4012 Santa Maria Drive with a purpose, and a growing list of questions Stephan couldn't seem to answer. The locations logged by Stephan's 2010 silver Lincoln MKZ during the hours he claimed to have dropped Madeline at school didn't align with his story. Each explanation he gave crumbled against the cold precision of surveillance data, as if he were building a wall out of wet paper. When pressed, Stephan handed over his phone, claiming he had accidentally performed a factory reset the very day Madeline went missing. It was a convenient erasure. Still, he agreed to a forensic download, unlocking the device for the Orange County Sheriff's Digital Forensics Unit. At the Venetian Bay security gate, Tagler pulled the surveillance footage. There it was, Stephan's Lincoln rolling out of the complex. A female in a green sweater slumped unnaturally in the passenger seat, her body tilting left like the life had drained from it. That image changed everything. Tagler locked down the residence, calling in the Kissimmee Police Department for backup. Patrol units secured the scene until a warrant could be executed. By February 28th, the operation was in motion. Orange County detectives, Kissimmee officers, and forensics converging on Santa Maria Drive. As one team combed through the property, another cracked into Stephan's phone, pulling whatever fragments of truth the reset hadn't buried. The forensic download revealed a connected Google Drive account. Investigators obtained a separate search warrant for that cloud storage. What they found was beyond the scope of the missing person investigation and downright horrifying. The forensic download of Stern's phone revealed several images and videos depicting Stephan's Madeline. The files included photographs of Madeline's area and other material showing Madeline's penetrated by a. This discovery would open a parallel criminal investigation and deepen the gravity of the case against StephanSterns. During this time, detectives discovered Stephan did not drop Madeline off at school, as he previously stated. The evidence came not from rumor or guesswork, but from the cold, unblinking eyes of license plate readers and flock cameras. They tracked his movements with machine precision, and their story was nothing like his. On the morning of February 26, 2024, his silver Lincoln wasn't anywhere near the school's drop-off lane. Instead, it was caught heading south on Old Hickory Tree Road, a road that led away from safety, away from the truth. On February 28th, Corporal Ilgen and investigators drove the length of that road, scanning ditches, thickets, and forgotten stretches of land where a body could vanish. Each possible dump site was searched, but the hunt turned up nothing. Later that day, the team of detectives and investigators met at the command center to brief one another on their findings. The full horror of Stephan's predatory behavior came to light. His Google Drive was a digital shrine of depravity. Over 1,700 images and videos depicting the majority of Sterns and Madeline freezing innocence in grotesque acts. These files sparked an arrest warrant, with charges mounting against Stephan for sexual battery and possession of child pornography. While detectives finalized the arrest warrant for StephanSterns, Jennifer sat in a sterile conference room, fielding questions about Madeline's disappearance and the home she shared with a predator. They laid the evidence in front of her, years of abuse captured in disturbing photographs. Any normal parent would have erupted in grief or fury, but Jennifer remained unmoved, her face as blank as the walls around her. She even asked if she could change her mind about pressing charges later, as if her daughter's suffering were a matter of convenience. After detectives discovered the heinous images and footage on Stephan's phone and completed the arrest warrant, they met with him again.
And from what I understand, that you gave the deputies consent to look through your phone.
Yeah.
You did? Okay. And you voluntarily gave it to them so they could bring it here to do the extraction and stuff like that. Okay. What do you think was on the phone?
Text messages.
Mm-hmm.
Emails. Phone stuff.
Pictures?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of pictures were on there?
Training card pictures, lightsaber pictures, Disney pictures.
Do you have a Google account?
Yeah.
Do you save pictures to your Google account?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Or is it automatically? I know sometimes phones sync to a cloud and...
Yeah, I think it backs up to Google.
Uh-huh. And then sometimes when you reset your phone and your phone updates and puts these apps back on your phone, sometimes they will put the images back on your phone.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you have
Oh, I assume so.
Do you have any pictures of you?
Probably. I mean, we went to Disney and took selfies on the train. And she got back from Puerto Rico and had her hair braided. We got pictures of that. All sorts of pictures. Little family events. I'm not as much of a shutterbug. I take them every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Any other pictures that you think of? Here's where I'm going to be brutally honest with you. There's your phone. And I'm pretty sure you know what some of those pictures are about. You're a very intelligent person. And I don't want you to discredit yourself by saying you don't know about all the pictures that are on your phone. You understand what I'm saying? So do you want to add to the list of pictures?
I don't know. Should I be talking with a lawyer right now?
I can't answer that question. My sole purpose right now is to see if I can find, and I'm really hoping you can help me.
Okay. Well, I'd like to try to help, but I feel like I should probably have a lawyer present at this point.
So you're wanting an attorney?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That can happen. I want to let you know you're not free to leave. Okay. You're being detained. Okay. Do you want to know what you're being detained for?
Yeah.
Capital sexual battery and possession of child pornography.
Stephan was eventually arrested on charges of sexual battery when the victim was under age and possession of child. Orange County detectives, alongside the forensic unit, served a search warrant to obtain his DNA, evidence that could tie him directly to the crimes. Once the samples were secured, he was transported to the Orange County Jail, booked under a zero bond, and locked away with no chance of release. As investigators continued questioning Jennifer Soto and StephanSterns, a disturbing lead surfaced. Detective Ballardes of the Orange County Sheriff's Office learned that the dumpster at Venetian Bay, the same one Stephan was caught on camera using, hadn't been emptied since that day. Whatever he'd thrown away could still be inside. Ballardes moved fast. The dumpster was seized and hauled to a secure lot on 4978 LB McLeod Road, kept far from any other trash. Under the harsh glare of work lights, the forensic team began tearing through the contents, one foul, reeking bag at a time. Then a break. Buried in the debris, investigators found a tire. Nearby, a plastic bag, its shape and size a chilling match to the one seen in the surveillance footage. Inside, a black Hawaiian print backpack. And in that backpack, an Orange County Public Schools laptop belonging to Madeline Soto, and a single Croc shoe. The shoe matched the one pulled from the home where Madeline had lived. On February 29, 2024, investigators confronted Jennifer Soto, who admitted she never actually saw Madeline on the morning of February 26th, despite previously claiming she had. She revealed unsettling details, that Madeline often slept in the same bed as her and Stephan, something she claimed never felt right, yet still sent them to bed together the night before the girl vanished. Behind the small talk of routines and medications, her words painted a picture of neglect, denial, and choices that now hung heavy in the shadow of Madeline's disappearance. Later that day, investigators interviewed Angelica Nigro, one of Jennifer Soto's roommates, who said she never saw Madeline on the night of February 25th and only heard noises from the bedroom where Stephan and the girl slept. The next morning, Stephan acted strangely, going in and out of the apartment, washing clothes he never normally touched, while Jennifer remained in a deep sleep from her medication. When Madeline was reported missing that night, Jennifer was distraught, but Stephan stayed unnervingly calm, and Angelica later identified a nude photo on his phone of her taken without consent, highlighting the disturbing pattern of his behavior. The walls of the investigation were closing in. Evidence had shifted the tone from uncertainty to grim certainty, and the faint hope of finding Madeline alive was all but extinguished. By this point, Madeline was still missing, but detectives believed she was dead. The weight of that reality hung heavy as they prepared to confront Jennifer once more, the next steps steeped in the gravity of a homicide investigation.
So the living situation with them, I'll be honest, seems weird. It's weird to me. She's got a bedroom downstairs. What's kind of the mindset or the thought process, the communication you've had with Stephan about, she's not going to sleep in her bed, but you guys are going to go sleep in the guest bedroom?
I had a rule. She wasn't allowed to sleep in his bedroom at all. Like, no sleepovers, no nothing. For a very long time. For years.
What brought that on? Was that like a request of his? Like, can we sleep in the same bed? Request of hers? Or you just saying...
Me being super paranoid, not to trust anyone. For the longest life, even though he treated her well, I still looked at him on, like side-eye, like making sure, like, is that normal? Is this okay? That looks normal. Okay. I wanted to make sure that nothing was happening and that I was missing something, but.
So I guess when you said, like, you had a rule, like, obviously we know now they've, slept in the same bedroom together and everything else. I'm sure you're questioning a lot of things that, like, you haven't been told or that are going on. The thought process of them sleeping in the same bedroom caused you to say that you had a rule for the longest time where they couldn't.
Yeah.
I have a son. He's a lot younger than her. He's 4. But I guess if I was dating somebody or had somebody over, I would never establish, and this is just me, a rule. He can't sleep in the bed with her, or she's not going to be. It wouldn't even be a thought process for me, so that's why I ask, because I wouldn't think of it even as an option.
Yeah.
So when you say you had a rule, I guess I'm asking what prompted the rule.
Sleepovers before. Yeah. Like, you want to watch movies and eat snacks? Can we do that? I'm like, no. We can all watch movies down here together. So we were always. She would sleep in the middle. I would sleep on this side. He would sleep on the other side. It wasn't until June that he got his own bedroom and I sent him upstairs. That's where the requests for sleepover started.
Okay.
And I kept telling her no. I'm not comfortable with that. But eventually, at some point, like, we really want to watch. I forgot what movie it was. They really wanted to watch something, and I was really tired. And I said, okay, fine. Go ahead, but this can't happen often. I think I can count on one hand how many times that's happened, and it hasn't been many times that I've allowed her to have a slumber party with him, to be alone in a bed with him.
He's not there. Where does she sleep?
With me.
She never sleeps in her room?
No, always with me.
I know the sheriff has probably expressed to you that's his number one priority. I'm sure the Kissimmee Police Department's expressed that to you, our detectives. This isn't something that's going to stop or go away.
Yeah.
Right? Anybody who knows something, anybody who may know something, be brought to a room where we talk to, whether they're guilty, whether they're innocent. Because our number one priority, our jobs have kind of stopped on any other things we have going on until it's fine, because that's the most important thing anybody has going on right now. But with that, a lot of people are going to feel that whatever happened, I can tell you, and I know detectives have expressed to you that the thought process at this point is this is a homicide investigation.
Yeah.
Based on the evidence I've seen, based on the videos I've seen, I do believe at this point, I murdered her, right? He victimized her. He ruined her entire life from childhood until now. I think that there's probably some sense of guilt. And my fear is that sense of guilt is causing you to not want to assist in the location of her, not because you're a bad person, but because there's that sense of guilt that what was happening under your roof. And now, by her being found, brings that all to your plate, and it doesn't.
Oh no. If I knew anything, I would so tell you. I want to even if she's dead, because you guys tell me you're suspicious, but I'm not going to believe it until I have her body.
So there are things, and the reason I say these things, and again, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but the reason I say these things is there's been a lot of things you've said, and a lot of things I've kind of researched between the Fox 35 story, between your initial statement to the police. A lot of things have changed. The initial statement to the police was you watched her get dressed, you watched her leave, you knew exactly what she was wearing. The police have showed you their hand. They said, Stephan, we want your phone. Stephan, we want to talk to you. We are going to lock down your residence. You can't go back inside. Me? I don't care if it's the love of my life sitting next to me. I don't care if it's maternal grandma. If the police come and take my mom's phone and my son's disappearance, I'm not going to offer my mom a lawyer. That's nuts to me. That to me shows you prioritizing Stephan. Because at that point, you became more worried about him being falsely accused than any. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Whether or not that's what you felt. Does that make sense? People having lawyers is their constitutional right. That is a thing that everybody is afforded. But for somebody who's going through what you are going through, to offer him a lawyer leads me to believe that there may have been a conversation, there may have been knowledge, or there may have been some inclination that you had, whether it be his involvement, her location, or something to where in your mind there's guilt.
I promise you. Like,
because you offering him a lawyer is very weird.
I know. That was still me under the assumption that I think at one point you guys interviewed me, and when you guys showed me the picture of her, I believed the sexual stuff, but I didn't want to believe that he had done anything evil to her. I'm like, no, what if he did this stuff fine, but what if she's still missing out there? What if somebody took her? I still wanted to believe I believed him. I believed his whole story. So I was just like, I kept repeating that part. I'm just like, what if she did get dropped off? What if she got abducted? What if she's missing? But that was me assuming that you guys had the wrong guy. I wanted to think he was a good guy still, but clearly he's not. After everything you guys have told me and have shown me, I know he's the worst person on this face of the earth.
We know
right
that
now.
now. We know he's a piece of shit now.
You know.
But you didn't know that then.
I didn't.
Then you offered a guy who the police suspected of kidnapping, abducting, assisting the disappearance. Offered him a lawyer. And then we don't have to roundtable that. You went back to what you just said is the sex stuff is fine. When you guys slept in the same bed together, middle. Did you ever wake up and find them cuddling? Did you ever wake up and find them closer than you thought they should be?
They would snuggle, yeah.
Okay.
But we all snuggle. I didn't think that was abnormal.
So if you guys are sleeping in the same bed and she's in the center, you've woken up and they're snuggling. They're under the same blanket. They're not under the same blanket.
No.
But just like
she's got her own blanket.
Spooning for what? What is snuggling to you? Because to me, snuggling, spooning, big spoon, little spoon.
He would lay down like this, and she would be right here in the nook.
Okay.
How
do you guys sleep? Do you guys sleep clothed, unclothed? I sleep clothed.
Yeah. Shirt,
pants, pajama sets.
Yes.
Everybody.
I sleep in like my everyday clothes.
Okay.
On pajamas or baggy t-shirts and shorts.
Okay.
And Stephan would sleep with his t-shirt or boxers, sometimes with his pants on. But he didn't have pajamas.
Okay. So they would snuggle, sometimes him being in his boxers. He would wake up and she'd be in the nook of his arm, essentially in a cuddling position. And you never found that weird?
No.
Okay. Again, you and I may find things different. Why? And I don't want you to look back on it because now you know you victimized her for a long time, right? Under your roof. With you home, most likely, because you said you're always home. You just got this job. You've been living off disability. I know the Kissimmee Police Department has showed you pictures. I know they've verbally explained to you some pictures. I can tell you that today, we are still downloading his Google Drives. We are still going through his social medias, his cloud-based servers, and everything else. And we can now piece back her victimization in your house under your care to 2020. So when I ask, they've woken up cuddling, did you find things suspicious? Did you have an open relationship? He talked to you? Has he made inappropriate statements? It's almost like cheating, right? Like, have you ever been cheated on? Okay. Somebody can only cheat on somebody for so long until they fuck up or until something comes out or somebody says something, right? So we go back to 2020. We're looking at a minimum of 3.5 years. 3.5 years where I'm sure you guys are sexually active. You guys. Yes. So for 3.5 years under your care in your house, not only was he being sexually active with you, he had a sexual relationship. And I know it's an emotional thing, and I know it sucks to hear, but where I'm coming from is it seems like something that you can't hide forever. You guys live in a small space, close quarters, you sleep in the same bed. You guys all talk, you guys all share things. You're an observant person for the most part, I assume. Outside of taking medications and going to sleep, it seems very difficult. A lot of grown-ass adults can't hide an affair with somebody who doesn't live with them. Yeah. Let alone somebody who does live with them. So at a certain point, I do believe you became aware of what was going on.
No.
And when I say that, it doesn't mean you're in trouble. It doesn't change.
I know, but
I do believe that a reasonable person, and I consider you a reasonable person, right? Do you think you're a reasonable person?
Yes.
Would be aware that under her roof, sexual relation.
I had no idea.
The videos, the text messages, the images, they're all documented forever. This has been an ongoing thing. And at her age, I think she probably thought they were in a relationship. She probably thought they were in love because her male attention, right? Just started liking boys, right? She just got a crush. Up until then, her crush, at the same time, you guys are sleeping in the same bed together. You guys are all cohabitating. She's not sleeping in her room. But you felt the need to establish a rule that they couldn't sleep in the same room. But when you establish that rule, for 3 years, she's already been dating him, essentially. Whether that's legal or not.
I had no idea.
So I truthfully believe, and this is my belief, I'm not speaking for other detectives, I'm not speaking for the sheriff's office, the state police department, or any other agency I've said. This is Kevin's belief. I believe that you became aware of their sexual relationship. I think at a certain point throughout this relationship, you became aware of it. And for whatever reason, your reasons are your reasons, whether it was discussed that it would stop, whether it was discussed how it would go, that you feel some sense of guilt. A lot of the news statements you've given kind of, again, my opinion only, I don't speak for anybody else, whether it's in this room or out of this room, bother me. It seems like some of your emotion, up until this room, I think some of the emotion in this room is sincere. I think a lot of it's because I'm being an asshole. I'm telling you things you don't want to hear that shouldn't be said out loud. But when you talk to the news, when you talk to deputies, it feels, based on my experience in this job, that it's not sincere. I feel like some of your sadness is not real sadness. I feel like when you gave the interview with Fox 35, it was not sincere. Looking at that video one time, I didn't feel like your cries were sincere. And I'm not saying that because you're a bad person. I feel like sometimes people struggle to show real emotion when they're aware of what the truth is. So it has to be fake. This is demise for the past, let's say, 5 years, right? But her going missing, her disappearance, if you have knowledge of how it happened, where it happened, an inclination, that emotion's not going to feel sincere because you're already aware of what happened.
I would.
It's almost becomes a lie at that point.
If I knew anything, I promise you, I would tell you. Like, I am willing to take a lie detector test, whatever the fuck you want, but I don't know anything. He's never mentioned anything. I've never seen any signs. I tried watching her like a hawk. I thought I was doing a good job, but I wasn't. I was oblivious to everything. 4 years?
Minimum. That's just how far back the cloud goes. And I find it hard to believe for me that you were so worried about how many pills she took at night, but not where she slept or what relationship she was. His interest in her.
I thought we were all safe. He hadn't shown me anything so far. Like, everything seems fine. Like he treated her
like he treats you. In his mind.
So fucking disgusting.
So now he's in jail because of what we found on his phone, not because somebody came forward and reported that he was abused.
No, I know.
She's not old enough to consent. She's not old enough to have a thought process to even want anything that was happening to her. It's abuse. So he's in jail for that, but something caused murder, because we can call it a murder. She didn't die naturally. She didn't overdose. She didn't have a heart attack. We circled murder on Monday. Something had to cause that. He's been having unrestricted sexual activity for a long time. He's getting what he wants from her, probably from you, and who knows whoever else, right? So it's not like he woke up or went to bed Sunday and he was like, you know what? I'm done with this, but I'm going to kill her. Something happened. People don't just wake up and like, you know what? They leave people. They break up with people. But usually things cause people to snap.
I don't want to believe he killed her. But from what you guys are telling me, he must have killed her Sunday night and snuck her body out in the morning.
You don't want to believe he killed her.
I want to believe she's still alive and that she got kidnapped, but that doesn't seem like that's the
Well,
case
that's not
at
what
all.
happened. No.
I know, my brain just wants to believe something else. I just want to believe she's still alive, she's out there.
Did he tell you he fucked up?
No. He acted so normal that day. He was like, I'm so impressed. We got out of the house so early. Like, she made great time. We had so much time to go to McDonald's, but she didn't want to. His story was so, like, every detail was so believable.
What about that day in the car when you offered him a lawyer? Did you disclose anything to you there that made you feel like, oh fuck, he needs a lawyer?
No. He kept acting like he didn't know what was happening, and I'm like, don't you see forensics? Don't you see they took your phone? Like, something's happening. Like, I think they're gonna pin this on you. And I'm like, in my head, I'm going, they have the wrong guy. Like, they're just honing in on the last person who saw her. But no, you guys knew more.
You never said, what did you do?
I've never asked him any of that. I still, even up until when we got here to the police station, I was convinced that he hadn't done anything to her at all.
Because of him or because of not wanting to believe she's deceased?
Because of him. Because I thought he was a good guy.
So up until this morning, you still think that it's not?
No.
You're talking about the other day.
Up until
when we took him.
Yes.
Okay.
I forgot what day of the week that was.
So we're still going through his phone, his drives, like I told you, all his socials. We can date back to 2020. Based on the videos, it appears that was the start of the victimization. Okay, are you going to find anything in his phone with
No. He never done anything. He's never done anything.
Has there ever been a request for the two of you to participate in sexual activity with him?
No.
Regardless of you saying no or yes?
No, he's never asked that.
Okay. If we find pictures like that, is that going to surprise you? Like if I'm in his Google Drive, if I have a sex crimes detective, a computer person look at his phone, and they tell me, hey Kevin, I found a picture engaged in sexual activity or borderline sexual activity, is that going to surprise you?
Yes, because that doesn't exist.
Okay. Give me your top 5 places you think are possibilities based on knowing him, based on knowing his path of travel. Where do you think, and it doesn't have to be based on evidence, just in your gut, give me your top 5 places where you think he.
I'm saying in this area, I have no idea.
What has your communication been like with his father since this?
I've limited contact over the last 2 days because I know too much and I don't want to tell them anything.
You don't want to tell them what we've told you, or you don't want to tell them what you know?
No, I don't want to tell them what you guys have told me. You know, he's a piece of shit.
We've talked to his dad, and his dad knows as much as you know. He knows his son's a rapist. He knows his son's a murderer. Have you talked to Chris about Stephan needing a lawyer?
Yeah.
When?
I think when you guys showed me the photos.
So we showed you photos of Stephan raping, and
No.
the first thought you had was to ask his father if he should get a lawyer?
No. I saw a picture. I didn't see the rape. I didn't know she was getting raped until yesterday. I saw the picture of the oral sex happening. And I knew that was true, right? That's evidence. That's for real. That's fucking happening. But I kept thinking, they're going. I don't know why I can't tell you why my brain kept thinking, no, he didn't kill her. Not that he didn't kill her, but she's still missing. She's still out there. She was taken. Yes, he's done this to her. And that's not okay. But I swore I felt in my body she was still alive. She was still out there. I told Chris to get him a lawyer because I felt like you guys were chasing the wrong person. But you weren't. You're not.
We showed you a picture. picture you saw, she was giving a blowjob to a grown-ass man and you told his dad to get him a lawyer. Missing, right? Now you, but then you just thought she was missing. And we were showing you our investigative lead being raped. A blowjob is rape, not consensual. Whether she wants to do it or not, that is not consensual. And you prioritized him again. You prioritized him by offering him or telling his dad to get him a lawyer. Not, what the fuck did he do? Not, hey, we need to figure out what happened. No, let's protect Stephan.
I was in shock.
No, that's not shock. That is your natural instinct to protect Stephan. Okay? And if that's naturally how you react, that's fine. But that goes into what I've been telling you this whole conversation is I don't believe a lot of the things you're saying, and I don't believe a lot of the things you say you weren't aware of. And that is because you've now shown me twice that your first reaction, no matter what you were told or shown, missing and we're seizing cell phone, or we're showing you pictures of her giving him a blowjob, your first reaction is to protect Stephan. So now, ordered by Stephan, you're aware of this. You were shown pictures of this. You were shown pictures of her body in his car with a seatbelt on, right? We have played it out for you.
But
now you're in a stage where he's in jail. You know she's passed away, and now you can feel emotion, right? Until that point, when you were shown that she was deceased, your continued first reaction is to protect this guy. You just said, I only saw a picture of him, whatever your verbiage was, I say blowjob, of his penis in her mouth, and your first reaction was, fuck. Oh my, victimized? No. She's being abused? No. It's Stephan needs a lawyer. Who the fuck cares if we think he killed her?
I don't know why I said that.
But that's the problem. You don't know why. So the reaction in your mind is you are continuously protecting this guy. So why do I sit here and believe that you don't? Because right now you know Stephan killed her. You know Stephan's been raping her. You know without her body, can he be charged with murder?
I don't know.
Exactly. So you don't know what we can do. Do I think we can charge him with murder? It's not up to me. Should he be charged with murder? Yes.
Please.
Does your role in her life lead this to happen? I'll be honest. Yes. Since she was a child, since her victimization started, it occurred under your roof and you acted like it didn't exist. And knowing the victimization, knowing how ongoing it is, knowing that you saw a picture of it, not just us telling you, not me and him saying, hey, listen, he's being, I think they had a bad relationship. They showed you a fucking picture of it. And you still protected him. So how am I supposed to not think that the thought process in your mind is until she's found, Stephan can't be charged with murder? Because we both now know that you don't want him to be charged with murder because you want him to have a lawyer.
No, I don't.
The blowjob. He can't be charged with murder.
That was then. Everything that you guys have shown me since then and have shown me that he's
so we had to show you a picture of her dead in the car for you to finally not take his side? There should have been no doubt in your mind when they showed you that picture of what he was doing to you that you had any care in the world other than I want that motherfucker to die.
March 1st, 2024. What began as another day of searching quickly descended into something far darker. Teams from the Orange County Sheriff's Office, the Osceola County Sheriff's Office, and St. Cloud Police spread across their jurisdictions, scouring fields, wooded lots, and desolate roadsides for any trace of Madeline. At the same time, investigators stood before cameras, appealing to the public for help. They asked if anyone had seen StephanSterns' silver sedan or a man changing a tire on the roadside, a carefully worded plea that hinted at what detectives already feared. By late afternoon, a witness stepped forward. He remembered a man resembling Stephan clutching a tire iron beside a silver sedan on Hickory Tree Road days earlier. Deputies moved on the lead, forcing entry through locked gates onto private farmland. Beyond the gate, hidden near a stand of bamboo, the search ended. Beneath a thin covering of dry grass and hay, they uncovered the body of a young girl. Blue jeans, green sweater, and a silence that spoke louder than any words. The details were damning. Her socks were spotless, untouched by dirt, proof she had never walked where she was found. She had been carried, discarded, dropped over a barbed wire fence or passed through the gate, then concealed like something meant never to be discovered. Forensics confirmed the worst. The mole on her cheek erased all doubt. The body was Madeline. The following morning, her autopsy offered the final, haunting revelations. Under the harsh glow of the examination room, her body showed no signs of escape, no fight to run free. But inside, the truth surfaced. A fractured hyoid bone, an injury consistent with strangulation. Though the cause of death was left pending, the message was unmistakable. Madeline Soto had not simply gone missing. She had been hidden, silenced, and left behind. On March 4, 2024, investigators circled back to the witness who first pointed them toward Hickory Tree Road. In a sworn statement, Thomas Karras confirmed he had seen Stephan's silver Lincoln pulled over on February 24th, the rear driver's side riding on a spare. Standing beside it was a man he later identified as StephanSterns, his face marked not just by frustration, but by something darker, a look of fear. Thomas even sketched the spot, the same stretch of road where Madeline's body would later be found. The next day, March 5th, detectives turned their attention to Jennifer's ex-husband, Stephen Young. He described their short-lived marriage, Jennifer's struggles with mental health, and his decision to pull his own daughter away from the instability. But through it all, he remained bonded to Madeline, treating her like his own and keeping in touch even after the divorce. Stephen recalled visiting Jennifer and Stephan in Northport, an encounter that soured after a small argument, cutting off future contact. In his statement, Stephen noted troubling changes in Madeline over the last few years. Subtle shifts in her demeanor he first dismissed as adolescence, but couldn't shake from memory. He also recounted a recent phone call with Jennifer and Stephan, describing Jennifer as anxious, and Stephan as oddly defensive, fumbling over excuses about a forgotten, accidentally reset phone. Stephen made it clear he never believed Jennifer had a direct hand in what happened. On March 6, 2024, detectives traveled to Northport, Florida, to question Stephan's parents, Chris and Deborah Stearns, at their home on Snug Street. Both admitted they had been expecting the visit and were not surprised to be drawn into the investigation. When asked about Stephan's relationship with Jennifer, they explained it lasted about 7 years but was fraught with problems. They said they never approved of it, citing Jennifer's drug use, her reliance on depression and anxiety medication, and a dynamic where both she and Stephan fed into each other's worst behaviors. They described the two as sleeping constantly, sinking into their own mental health struggles, and dragging one another down. Chris said Stephan suffered from sleep apnea, which kept him up at night and sleeping through the day. When Stephan stayed with his parents, he locked himself in his bedroom and rarely came out except for meals. Chris eventually brought him back from Kissimmee, tired of supporting him and paying his $600 rent. Though Stephan and Jennifer had supposedly broken up, Chris said the relationship was murky. Yes and no, depending on who was asked. Jennifer herself had told him the week before Madeline disappeared that Stephan wasn't a good partner, while Stephan had already started seeing another woman. The Stearns said Stephan returned to Kissimmee 3 times after moving back home: Thanksgiving, Christmas, and finally Madeline's birthday. Deborah recalled Madeline calling Stephan on February 24th to make sure he was coming. That same night, Chris noticed something was off. Stephan was unusually upset, desperately searching for anxiety medication, and visibly stressed. Chris felt it wasn't anger but pressure, as if something was weighing heavily on him. The next day, February 25th, Stephan told his father about Madeline's disappearance. On the 26th, Chris tried repeatedly to reach him in the morning but got no answer until Stephan finally called at 3:17 p.m. Stephan claimed he got a flat tire on Highway 192 and pinched his finger while changing it. Later, at 4:54 p.m., he called again, saying there had been an occurrence and that he was on his way to Madeline's grandmother's house, a strange choice of words that struck Chris immediately. Stephan then gave his version of events. Madeline hadn't wanted to be seen in his car, so he dropped her off near the school. Chris thought the story was suspicious, especially when Stephan claimed the area was known for kidnappings and abductions. Chris knew Hunter's Creek was an upper-middle-class neighborhood, nothing like what Stephan described. Chris said Stephan sounded guilty, almost rehearsing the story, repeating it again in nearly identical fashion during his media interview on February 27th. Over the next 2 days, Chris spoke with Stephan several more times. When asked why he didn't just turn over his phone to investigators, Stephan claimed he had accidentally reset it. Chris didn't believe it, insisting there was no way to do that by mistake. Chris also said Stephan had told him he and Jennifer were getting kicked out of their home and were staying in a hotel. Chris drove to Kissimmee to help, but couldn't even lock their door because the electronic lock's batteries were dead. Once there, Chris met with Stephan and Jennifer, where they discussed upcoming interviews before heading to separate rooms. The next morning, Jennifer called Chris in a panic asking if Stephan was with him. They met in the hotel lobby and quickly learned detectives were looking for Stephan, but he was gone. When he finally showed up, Stephan claimed he got lost. Chris didn't buy it, knowing Jennifer's car had a GPS system. Detective Alex Richards later confirmed suspicions. Stephan had been in Northport early that morning and possibly went to his storage unit on Executive Avenue. Chris said Stephan wouldn't have been able to access their home without a garage remote, but believed the only reason he'd return would be to steal something for money. When Stephan eventually made it back to the hotel, he went straight to sleep and was impossible to wake. Deborah raised another disturbing detail. She said that after Madeline's birthday, Jennifer had asked Madeline to sleep in Stephan's room, something Deborah strongly opposed. It was one of the reasons they wanted Stephan back in Northport. Deborah also said that in the past year, she had noticed Madeline showing signs of being bipolar, though she admitted she never personally saw tension between Jennifer and Madeline outside of hearing phone arguments. When asked if they believed Stephan was capable of what he was accused of, Chris admitted he thought almost everything Stephan said was a lie. Deborah said she didn't think Stephan would intentionally hurt Madeline, but suggested if something happened, it may have been an accident. Before leaving, detectives collected a desktop computer and power cord from Stephan's room, the only evidence Northport police had taken. The computer was delivered to the Kissimmee Police Department for processing, one more piece of a case closing in on StephanSterns. By early March, investigators turned their focus towards one of Jennifer's roommates. Natalie Rosero, who had lived there since 2022, described a household already strained long before Madeline's disappearance. She knew Jennifer for years, but her ties to Stephan were distant, just passing greetings in the hallway. She remembered Jennifer's complaints. Stephan wasn't holding a job, wasn't helping provide. That tension eventually pushed him upstairs, and later out of the house altogether to live with his parents. Natalie's life was tightly structured around her young son, out of the house every morning by 7:45 a.m. She often saw Madeline just waking as she left, sometimes catching her in Jennifer's room getting ready for school. Rarely did she see Madeline with Stephan, only once playing video games in his room. Natalie even texted Jennifer to ask if she was comfortable with that, and Jennifer had simply thanked her. Natalie also spoke of Jennifer's heavy sleep, dulled by medication, so deep that when someone once tried breaking into her car, Jennifer was difficult to wake. The night before Madeline vanished, Natalie told Jennifer she'd help pass out flyers the next day. Stephan, in response, looked at her and asked, "Are you okay?" A question so out of place it unsettled her. She described Jennifer afterward as in pieces, grieving and broken, while Stephan played it concern. When asked, Natalie firmly believed Jennifer loved her daughter and had no role in her death. Detectives interviewed Angelica, who was moving out of the home shared with Jennifer and Madeline. She recalled the night of February 25th, arriving around 11 p.m. noticing Jennifer asleep, but Stephan awake. Around 2:30 a.m., she heard noises from his room. The next morning, she saw him restless, moving in and out of the house and doing laundry. Angelica described the sleeping arrangements. Madeline often stayed with Jennifer, while Stephan still shared the bed. She had seen Stephan and Madeline alone in his room before, but Jennifer dismissed her concerns. Jennifer had also confided that intimacy with Stephan had faded. She wanted him out, and he was angry about it. Angelica emphasized that Madeline never seemed upset about Stephan leaving, that Stephan never took her to school, and that after Madeline's disappearance, Jennifer was devastated and unable to cope. Testimony closed in under the weight of digital evidence. Madeline's phone showed movements that weren't hers. Steps logged late on the night of February 25th, more between 7:05 and 7:15 a.m. on the 26th, and then silence as the device was powered off at 7:16 a.m., a pattern foreign to her daily habits. The phone lit back up at 10:55, coinciding with 8 logged steps, a moment when only Stephan and Angelica were in the house. Meanwhile, Stephan's own phone betrayed him. On February 26th at 12:12 p.m., it was factory reset, a process deliberate and password protected, not the accident he later claimed. Another reset followed just after midnight on the 27th, right before he drove Jennifer's car to St. Cloud. His phone also held thousands of child porn images stored in a hidden folder, alongside disturbing searches for sevoflurane, a pediatric anesthetic, with queries about whether it would appear on drug tests. Jennifer's phone offered its own timeline. She set her alarm for 7:30 a.m. on school days, but on the night of the 25th, her phone was docked by 11:54 p.m. Alarm set for 9 a.m., too late for any school drop-off. Even more haunting were the messages exchanged between her and Stephan that night. At 11:39 p.m., she told him, "Make sure she goes to bed right now." He replied, "Okay, sweetie, good night." Then, "She's built her nest and she's settling in now." Jennifer answered, "Okay, good." Those words confirmed the truth detectives already feared. On the last night of her life, Madeline was alone in Stephan's bedroom, under his control while her mother slept in the next room. On March 12, 2024, detectives interviewed Madeline's classmates, who confirmed that her closest friend was Sage Ellis, but provided no useful leads. The next day, family acquaintance Silvana Vester told detectives she often hiked with Jennifer and Madeline, disliked Stephan for being unemployed and reclusive, and emphasized he had no ties to the St. Cloud area, raising concern about his presence there. Later, Sage revealed Madeline had been upset at her birthday party, partly because Jennifer wasn't there, and most critically that Madeline texted her every morning without fail, except on February 26th, the day she disappeared. By March 29th, the medical examiner ruled her cause of death as strangulation, the manner homicide. In April, evidence closed in. During a jail call, Stephan told his father he never wanted that for her, but deflected responsibility, calling it a combination of factors. Soon after, Chris discovered a hidden hard drive and watch in his storage unit, items Stephan had secretly stashed during a trip to Northport. The drive and 2 USBs were seized under warrant. One contained over 35,000 images of child. On April 18th, Jennifer Soto was subpoenaed and placed under oath. She admitted she arrived home late on February 25th to find Stephan and Madeline downstairs, later joining them in her bedroom before sending them upstairs. She confirmed she often allowed Madeline to sleep in Stephan's room, claiming she trusted him. Jennifer said she heard movement in the kitchen that night but never saw Madeline on the morning of the 26th. She admitted Stephan later told her he accidentally reset his phone, but she continued to let him stay in the home because she considered him a close friend. On April 24th, a grand jury indicted Stephan on first-degree premeditated murder. Then on May 14th, during another jail call, Stephan told his parents, "There is no reason for anything to happen that happened." When confronted about his trip to Northport, he admitted he was preparing for whatever was coming. Chris pressed him further, saying he participated in what happened. Stephan answered simply, "Yeah." He never once denied killing Madeline. On July 29, 2024, inside Osceola County Jail, a routine cell search turned into something far more unsettling. Corrections officers entered the isolation cell of inmate StephanSterns and uncovered something that immediately raised alarms: yellow notebook paper. Yellow paper isn't permitted inside the facility, and when questioned, Stearns claimed it had been given to him by his attorney. But it wasn't the paper itself that disturbed investigators. It was what was written on it, a poem neatly titled Always. It reads like a eulogy, an obsessive tribute to someone with honey-colored hair and stormy blue eyes, someone gone far too soon. The words describe a smile that filled a room, a love that would never fade, and then a line that stopped investigators cold. As I held you in my arms, my heart died with you. That passage shifted the meaning of the poem entirely. Was Stearns simply grieving, or was this something else? A confession buried inside carefully written verses. The suggestion that he had been physically present in someone's final moments, holding them as they died, was impossible to ignore. The report shows that officers were disturbed enough to alert mental health services immediately. And while the poem could be dismissed as the ramblings of a troubled man, the timing, the imagery, and the chilling intimacy of the words made it feel like something far darker. A written echo of the very crime Stearns is accused of committing. A love letter, a eulogy, or a confession hiding in plain sight. On July 21, 2025, Stearns stood before the court for the last time. After months of delays, hearings, and evidence piling against him, the outcome was finally clear. Stearns entered a plea of no contest to murder and guilty to 60 separate sex crimes. Crimes that painted a devastating picture of exploitation, manipulation, and violence. Stearns was sentenced to 21 consecutive life sentences. Not concurrent, not reduced, consecutive. A punishment that ensures he will never leave prison walls alive. But what was most striking wasn't what happened inside that courtroom. It was what didn't happen. Jennifer Soto, the mother at the center of this case, didn't show up. She didn't deliver a victim impact statement. She didn't look Stearns in the eye. In a moment when many expect the victim's voice to close the chapter, she chose silence. Whether from exhaustion, pain, or refusal to give him one more second of her life, her absence left an emptiness heavier than words. The gavel came down. The case was over. Stearns was led away in shackles, condemned to spend the rest of his life in isolation, stacked sentence upon sentence, until time itself runs out. But the truth is, justice doesn't always bring closure. 21 life sentences can't erase the harm, and silence can speak louder than the harshest judgment. And as Stearns disappears into a cell he will never leave, one question remains. What secrets still die with him in the dark?